it's a possibility, and it may actually be live in some cases, I don't know, that CIO role might actually change to something called a Chief Agility Officer, CAO role. Still a strategic role, but the strategy is more in organizational agility and the delivery of value. Yes, that's more a product value is more a product ownership one, where you've got a chief product owner or an organizational product owner that is in charge of the value. But if you place that into a chief role, that would be the Chief Agility Officer to ensure that that is set up. Because I'm still surprised at the number of organizations that still don't understand what a product owner does. And they say, oh, we've got product managers, that will do. It's a different skill set. And it's, while there are very good product managers who are excellent product owners as well, it is a different skill set. So the understanding of that value to be returned within the time should actually be a CIO type role. So I'm suggesting a CAO role. The difference here is that the flow down is that agility and value going all the way through. It's a different focus, not just simply delivering things. It's not about as many outputs as possible. It's about the outcomes we're achieving. And yes, it's something that we talk about as trainers and coaches all the time, that sort of idea of outcomes rather than outputs. It's something that should be a focus of every product owner out there. But again, if it's coming down all the way through like this, where agile leadership by default, you've got your CAO there, Chief Agility Officer, leading down into, instead of just simply a manager role, if you like, your line manager, it's a leadership role with an agile focus. Your delivery, you're there in order to deliver value, and you're there in order to ensure agility of the organization. So not simply to look after IT. So that's the whole different focus all the way down through your Scrum leads. I like to call Scrum Masters, actually, I often say this, I like to call them team coaches. But here they are actually leaders as well. They are actually able to ensure the implementation of what's needed, even in the difficult situation where they may have to go through and have a talk to some people and say, we need you to be part of this team, not take the team in a different direction. So it's a different way of doing something. It's that the vision is there, the direction is there, but the implementation goes down to the lowest point. What is it the team needs to do? That comes down on the vision. How the team implements that is up to the team, because as I know, every single team I work with is different. They do things differently. Implementing an out-of-the-box framework is a great way to start, but it shouldn't be how the team continues, because the team should be forever looking at what they're doing and changing based on how they do their output. Are they improving all the time? All that sort of an area. So it comes through that. So implementing and supporting Agile is the focus, but we're allowing teams to figure that out. So we've got that Agile focus, and through the manifesto, where there's a vision of value and just working in an agile manner that allows the organization to easily change as necessary, easily update, allow productivity to be focused on things of value, not simply producing things. And there's accountability. So there's responsibility of all those areas. Is the agile mindset and practices in all teams. the adherence to the ideals of that Agile manifesto that are there. We're looking at outcomes rather than output. What I mean by that is an outcome is if you're driving from one city to another. Let's take somewhere that I used to go quite a bit, say Malaysia. If you're driving from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur, your outcome is arriving in Kuala Lumpur. Your output might be the miles you produce are going over there. It's no sense in producing more miles. You can go all over Malaysia, driving left and right for miles and miles and think you're doing really well, but what you really need to do is get to Kuala Lumpur. And that's what we're looking at with this least amount of output as possible. So the outcomes we're looking for. The correct frameworks for each of the teams, and accepting that some teams might have different frameworks. Well, some teams are based on a Scrum framework, if you like, running 2-week sprints or whatever it happens to be, so where they can plan ahead and commit to. Other teams, they're more reactionary, so they might have a more a Kanban approach. Whichever is more suitable for the team, the work the team does and how they do that work. So the teams will be able to work that with their Scrum Masters involved and their coaches, in other words, their line, work out the best way to do things. Agility over those frameworks. That's a big thing. One of the first things in the manifesto says individuals and interactions over processes and tools. We love our processes and tools. We need it. It's an absolute underlying need, but the individuals and interactions should be the focus. Yes, we still should be putting things through our processes and tools, but it's that individuals and interactions. So in other words, agility over the framework. Directly, each of those areas should be directly coaching their direct reports on their agile mindset and practices.